But I will say that there are some nuances that might add some context to the conversation around successful Black athletes dating white women. With that being said, welcome to our own draft, ladies, the 2025 BEG draft. That's right, the Blue-Eyed Girlfriend draft, consisting of generic Black athlete and all the women fighting to become his blue-eyed girlfriend. And though not blue-eyed themselves, Black women actually participate in this draft as well, whether they know it or not. So let's break down some of the factors that lead our future sports stars right on into their Caucasian happily ever after. So here we have them, ladies, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, coming in all colors, shapes, and sizes, but for the purposes of this argument, let's zero in on the Black ones and the white ones. These young women come into college, and as tradition would have it, the men swarm. But what is it that takes a girl from dating the cafeteria dish boy to dating the most promising recruit of the season? Let's find out. First of all, Black women are the most educated racial gender group in terms of college degree attainment. They hold a larger share of bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and doctorates than any other race gender group in the United States. So as one would have it, when they get to college, it's clear that they mean business. Therefore, school choice within itself can be a deterrent from the start. That D1 university may have the coin, but doesn't have the degree program they're looking for. Are they giving out scholarships for their field of study? Then premier HBCUs, on the other hand, got a reputation, high academic standards, legacy, cultural values, acceleration programs geared for Black women, and not to mention a little something nice to look at on campus that's probably on the same type of time as you. Wait, HBCUs have sports programs too? Are they good ones? I didn't think so. The Black men at HBCUs are far more likely to be focused on academics and careers outside of the sports industry. So moving on. Whatever the case is, the choice to stick to their skin folk already knocks a few Black women off the board. On the other hand, you have our prospective NBA draft pick, who, if he's an NBA draft pick, likely chose this life a long time ago, because ball is life. He's tall, dark, and handsome, and unlike the Black women in the first bracket, that D1 university has everything that he needs. By his junior year of high school, his coach was already breeding him to be the top player at his state school, so while he may miss out on the swag surfing and pretending to know all the words to dreams and nightmares at some random block party on the quad on a Wednesday night, he sleeps good, knowing those checks are always gonna clear. Next up for my ladies still in the running, there's the question of what exactly everybody came to college for. Yes, everyone is ultimately here for an education. Please. But to make it to the top of the BEG draft, you have to be focused on your man too. According to TikTok, many young white women are groomed to prioritize getting that ring before spring when they go to school. On the other hand, some of the Black women left have bigger fish to fry due to several socioeconomic factors, due to, well, racism. They're at college for upward mobility, to carry grandma and them bills on their back when they get out. A man would be nice, but a check would be better. So that knocks a few Black women off the board as well. Meanwhile, I see our star athlete is cruising right along because for him, he's already accepted the fact that he's gonna be carrying his family on his back. He was conditioned into that mindset long ago, except for he's a man, so that's okay. So unlike the Black women who may be stressed and pressed trying to make a bag and bring it back home, he's been getting called the man nonstop since he even got recruited. So yeah, he hasn't even noticed the Black girls dropping out of his dating pool. But that might not even matter for the Black girls that we have left, because now that you've even made it into the same dating pool as him, you now have to be prepared for what it's like to date an athlete. Because while the Black girl's trying to play for his heart like Lynae, he might just be trying to play them for their services. He has away games. He's sore. He needs help with homework in the class he's only been to once this semester. Why? Because basketball comes first, and he needs a woman who is willing to take care of all of that for his sake. Now you just heard me say that the Black women left are there for better opportunities in the future. How can they focus on being a fairy god girlfriend if they have their own lives to focus on as well? And it's not just about focus, it's also about proximity. What are these women doing outside of class? What are they into? Likely diving into those extracurriculars that are going to propel them forward in their respective goals. SGA, honor society, intern programs, maybe even a dual degree program, sororities even. But we all know that that process and the priorities for Black sororities are a whole lot different than the white ones. And the networks from the Black ones have much farther and weightier reach in the professional world. Well, I guess I wouldn't know. I'm a GDI. But what I do know is that it takes a whole lot of those Black ladies' time, sometimes a whole semester. Meanwhile, Lily and Emily done found a home for their extra time as team managers and interning with the sports massage therapist and are now on the road with the team. And this isn't to say that white women don't potentially face the same obstacles as Black women, but things work a little differently when society doesn't require you to grow up at a much faster rate than the other kids your age. And when you're not sitting on a trust fund or any measure of accumulated wealth, but I digress. The point is, we see who's made it to the end of the BEG season 2025 draft. And of course, for better or for worse, our star athlete was always destined to be waiting for her at the top. So our guy has chosen to take his girlfriend and her blue eyes into sports stardom. They fell in love, and she just happened to be white. And that's your prerogative, king, or generic black athlete. But the only thing I'll give you is that the circumstances play just as important a role here as do your preferences. On top of whiteness being the standard for beauty and the misogynoir that paints black women as undesirable, there are real, damaging implications behind black athletes who actively seek out anything but a black woman and are vocal about that. Because the average Joes who will never have the chance that your type of talent, stardom, or proximity to whiteness will do their best to emulate your success in any way they can, even if it's just having a white woman, and punching down on black women in the process because they have no other real way to verbalize their choice other than the fact that they want to be just like you. Now, will this new couple survive once our star athlete finally makes it into the big leagues? Will he be tokenized and fetishized to the point of no return? Will he use his proximity to whiteness to try to get him out of trouble over and over again when the police come knocking? Who knows? I mean, we absolutely do know, but for the sake of the bit, who knows? Nevertheless, until next year, this has been our 2025 BEG Draft.